Media Incorporated.
Statements made during this broadcast regarding products or the claims made about specific products have not been evaluated by the U.S. Food and Drug Administration. Products and treatments discussed are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent disease. Make your physician aware of all nutritional supplements used and immediately notify your physician if you have any health concern or undiagnosed sign or symptom. Let's Talk Nutrition is a health talk show that features scientists, authors, nutrition specialists, personal trainers, holistic healers, and experts in traditional, natural, and integrative medicine. Listen for a chance to win daily prizes and follow Let's Talk Nutrition on Facebook and Instagram at Let's Talk Nutrition or on Twitter at LTN Radio. It's time for some inspiration. Tune in to get fit and healthy. It's time to talk about nutrition. Nutrition for your body, your mind, your spirit. It's time to talk about proper exercise, stress relief, eating well, and supplementation to help. Get ready to take charge of your health because your health is your wealth and the wealth of those who care about and love you. It's time for Let's Talk Nutrition with Dr. Michael Garko. Welcome to the show.
Yay, it's Friday. Great to be with you. Thanks for tuning in. You are listening to Let's Talk Nutrition. We are coast to coast. Hope you're having a good day. Enjoying whatever it is that you do. Yeah, and you're working at your health. I know it's tough. I'm doing my best too. I know. It ebbs and flows, doesn't it? Get into a groove and then boom, something happens. You lose your pay, you lose your momentum, and then got to get back into the groove again. And I know.
By the way, is it good to take a couple days off from your supplements, or should you always stay on par?
It's a good question. That's funny you should ask that. That's a good question. I have no science to support this at all. This is just an idea that I have. An opinion. It's probably a good idea to take one day off. I usually pick like a Sunday, no supplements, but I don't get off my routines.
Right.
I don't know. I don't know why. I don't know. I've done that for a long time. I can't give you the reason why I'm doing it. I just felt, I don't think you need to. Of course, I'm calorie restricted. Vitamins and minerals have no calories in them. There's no energy in them.
Right.
So that's not the issue. I suppose it wouldn't be a bad idea. I'll have to look into that. Is there any science to support the idea that it's a good idea, that it's good to take one day off from your supplements?
It definitely doesn't hurt, though. Or at least in your experience.
I don't think it would hurt. Being regular with your supplements is more challenging than people think. You say, oh, yeah, you take supplements. Let me tell you, those of you who are listening, who take supplements, you know what I'm talking about. To be every day, take them every day, day in and day out, 7 days, 365 a year. Tough stuff. Not so easy. It's a simple thing, I know. But it's a challenge. So if you're taking them on a regular basis, it probably wouldn't hurt to have one day off. Just don't take anything that day. Just let your body be, if you will. And since you brought that up, I'm not a fan, Josh, of cheat days.
Oh, yeah. I know that. You've been very clear about that.
I totally disagree with that point of view. And I'll tell you why. First of all, I look at it from a social behavioral science point of view. The thing that you're always trying to do, especially when you're working with a client or with yourself, is you're trying to establish a good behavioral pattern, a piece of behavior that gets patterned. And you try to do that by reinforcing the behavior. Now, you can reinforce bad behavior. That's how bad behavior gets to be what it is.
Habitual,
It got reinforced. So you're trying to reinforce good. It's called conditioning. So it's learning. In psychology, it's called learning. And it's conditioning. So you're trying to condition yourself to behave in a certain way and reinforce it with typically rewards. The idea about a cheat day is that they say, well, I want to reward myself for all the good things I did during the week for my health. Like, let's say weight loss. I bet I was real good about my diet all week. Now I'm going to have a cheat day.
It's like rewarding good work with
what you're doing is reinforcing good behavior with bad behavior. That doesn't make any sense to me. And moreover, usually the cheat day turns into plural days. And it depends on how much you cheat. You could wipe out a couple of days of good work, maybe all week in one day, especially if you're trying to lose weight. How about the reward of, you just say to yourself, I achieved. That's a reward.
Yeah.
How about that? Recognize your achievement. Use that as the reward. Now, I'm not saying, listen, I'm not a lunatic about this. I don't think, you need to live like a Buddhist monk with nutritionally speaking. I don't believe that. You have to live life and you have to get along and you have to have a good relationship and healthy, wholesome relationship with food. Having a piece of chocolate cake from time to time, my God, if that's going to kill you, then to hell with it, I'll die. Okay?
Same with pizza.
Yeah. If you're going to have a pizza once in a while, okay. Not pizza 5 days a week, 4 days a week, 3 times. No, not a good idea, right? So knowing that, I think that you have to stick to your regimen. And this idea of a cheat day, if you want to reinforce your behavior, find some more positive way to do it.
Like telling people that this is how you live and what you do. I mean, that's what does it for me. Whenever I get around, certain things that I just don't do, and I just tell them, "Hey, this is what I don't do."
Right.
That to me is reward because they always kind of positive, reinforce.
They support that. Say, well, gee, that's good. That's good, and that's why it's good to have a good social support around you, especially when you're trying to lose weight or achieve some health goal that's serious. If you have people to support you in their reinforcement, their encouragement serves as reinforcement. Now, I know there's some people that disagree with me about this idea of cheat days. Maybe I'm just too strict in my thinking and from a social science perspective and behavioral conditioning and learning. But that's how I see it. I just don't think it's a good idea to reinforce good behavior with bad behavior. You're reinforcing the bad behavior. That's what you're doing. It's like a backfire. You're using you're now revisiting the bad behavior. I'm trying to get you to move away from the bad behavior. You don't say it. A heroin addict says, I was good all 6 days. I didn't take any heroin. Today's Sunday. I'm going to shoot up. Really? No.
I have heard alcoholics make that statement.
Alcoholics, thank you.
Yeah.
I didn't have a drink all Monday through Friday. I'm going to get snockered on Saturday. I'm going to just blast away. Really? That's your reward? Come on, man. Yeah. No.
Hey, look at this dam I built. Here, let's break it down. We need water in the valley.
Oh, crazy, man. No. Now, I know those are extremes. Food is, but
it's a good way to look at it.
No, don't reinforce good behavior with bad behavior. 877-897-8255, 877-897-TALK, or 877-897-habla in Espanol. And I'm also a great believer in one day at a time. Un día a la vez. One day at a time. Yesterday is history. Tomorrow's a mystery. You got today. Yesterday is history. Tomorrow's a mystery. Right now. Focus on now. That's what I try to do. Doesn't mean I don't have any goals. It just means that I'm in this moment. And I'm in this moment right. When I close the door to this studio and walk in here, whatever is out there stays out there. Because I got to be in this moment and focused. And there have been days when I've walked into this room Well, what I left outside was pretty tough. You know, the day my mother died, all kinds of tragic things. That's just how I see it. Now, everybody has their own way of trying to get along in this life and figure things out with their health. You know, sometimes the most obvious things escape us, don't they? Like our health. We know what there's something I'm going to share with you that, again, a study that I get vindicated. I get vindicated because I keep saying, quit telling people why they need to do it all the time. I mean, you got to tell them why. If you think you're going to persuade somebody to tell, why they need to lose weight and give them all the reasons why they need to lose weight, and you think that's going to get it done, you're delusional. It doesn't work. I'll tell you what does work when we come back, and I'll share with you a study that gets to that very point.
Still looking for your fountain of youth? It's Zinnia. Look no further than the beauty aisle of your favorite health and nutrition store. Zinnia is the newest product from Form Essentials, the brand that brought you solace. So you know it's filled with the highest quality ingredients. Many cosmetic products only treat topically, while Zinnia addresses aging and hair loss from within. Formulated to support the growth of radiant hair, skin, and nails, Zinnia is sure to help you turn back the hands of time and assist you in aging gracefully. Zinnia provides a spectrum of key vitamins and other evidence-based natural ingredients such as alpha-lipoic acid, biotin, and collagen and elastin peptides, all combined in one capsule for your convenience. By promoting beauty from the inside out, you're strengthening your cells and creating a lasting enhancement to your natural beauty. Zinnia fits into your daily routine and can be taken to boost your current cosmetic products. Available now at leading health and nutrition stores. Ask for Zinnia by name. Start taking Zinnia hair, skin, and nails today and get ready to look amazing.
Did you know that when it comes to supporting whole body health, there's an herbal supplement that may be as important as your daily multivitamin? Discover Zyflamend Whole Body from New Chapter, formulated to support a whole body healthy inflammation response, an ongoing natural process and part of the body doing its job. We often think of the inflammation response as something we can feel, such as where there are sensitive nerve endings. But did you know that we can also have an inflammation response we can't feel? And whether we are aware of it or not, our inflammation response can affect the whole body. Zyflamend is a patented blend of 10 remarkable herbs, including pure and potent turmeric, that help balance and support your body's natural, healthy inflammation response for overall health and wellness. And it's clinically tested. Discover the premier herbal supplement for whole body health from New Chapter, Zyflamend Whole Body. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Available at your local fine health food store.
When you're passionate about your health, that passion leads to the knowledge that exercise and a healthy diet are not always enough. Sometimes you need the extra nutritional boost that only supplements can provide. If you are looking for the leading national brands of vitamins, supplements, health and beauty, weight loss, or sports nutrition products, look no further than Vitamin Discount Center. Voted best independent chain by Vitamin Retailer Magazine, Vitamin Discount Center has been a trusted and valuable nutrition resource to the Tampa Bay area for over 15 years. With daily savings up to 50%, Vitamin Discount Center offers the best prices on the highest quality nutritional supplements. Not only will you find unbeatable value, your visit includes access to a staff educated on the application of products to help equip you with the products and information you need to proactively improve your health. To locate the store nearest you, visit vitamindiscountcenter.com, as well as access to articles on popular health topics, promotions, events, and thousands of products to shop from right at home. Your search for an affordable solution to better health is finally over. Vitamin Discount Center. For life, for less.
The latest trend to hit the store shelves has the whole country buzzing. Cannabidiol, or CBD, might just be the greatest discovery of our generation, and it comes from a plant that is not so new, agricultural hemp. Yes, after 70 years of prohibition and misunderstanding, hemp is back to help you stay healthy and balanced. Growing research is showing that we have a lot to learn from the remarkable hemp plant. Nutrient-rich products like Plus CBD Oil's Total Plant Complex concentrated products provide broad-spectrum nutrition, including fatty acids, plant sterols, cannabinoids, terpenes, and naturally occurring vitamin E. From seed to shelf, all Plus CBD Oil products provide the highest quality hemp-derived CBD products available and and are offered in a variety of delivery systems and flavors to suit your needs. Ask your local independent health food store about Plus CBD oil products by CV Sciences today and learn more about the CBD evolution at pluscbdoil.com. That's pluscbdoil.com.
Let's Talk Nutrition is brought to you by Alga Life, Algae for Life, NeoCell, the true science of collagen, CV Sciences, from seed to shelf, Form Essentials, makers of the sleep aid Solace, now introducing Zinnia for healthy hair, skin, and nails. New Chapter, the benefit of nature's wisdom. Yerba Prima, pioneers in internal cleansing. Let's Talk Nutrition on the web at letstalknutrition.com. We're back from the break, so let's rejoin Dr. Michael Garko.
Welcome back. Welcome to Let's Talk Nutrition, wherever and however you may be listening or watching the show, and whatever you may be doing. Stephen's here today, as always, behind the glass. He was incognito. He has his hat on. Josh is in studio in the room with me. No hat on today, and no hat on my head either. So here we are, and look, I have some friends who are alcoholics. And you talk to them, and they will tell you, at AA meeting, I've never been to an AA meeting, they don't spend much time talking about why they don't need to drink anymore. They'll tell the stories of what has happened to them and the tragedy and the destruction in their life, and it's implied as to why you shouldn't. A lot of time is spent on how are we gonna take this one day at a time? How are we gonna get it done? And you're wasting your time too if you stand there in front of somebody and they're wanting to lose 100 pounds or 50 pounds, and you spend an hour telling them why they need to do it. That's the wrong approach. It's just my opinion, and it's not persuasive. It's not persuasive. What is persuasive? I've been saying it on this show for a long time, and I say it because I'm trying to reinforce this idea and have you consider it in what you're trying to do. I'm going to share with you a study that gets to this idea about the how of how, or the why of how. How about that? The why of how. So this study comes out of the Dartmouth Institute for Health Policy and Clinical Practice, okay? And in this study, they were interested in trying to help women become more physically active. And they argue in the study that a one-size-fits-all approach probably doesn't work. And I agree with that, just like in dieting. So, across the lifespan, and this is just what the science tells us, women tend to be less active than men, even though the recommendations for physical activity are the same for both sexes. In addition, having a higher body mass index is a barrier to physical activity in itself. The heavier people are, the more difficult it is for them to become more physically active. So keep those two things in mind, that women tend to be less active than men across the lifespan, and then once they have gained too much weight, the weight is even more of a barrier to physical activity. So Dr. Anna Mahia said that, quote, what we see is that women with a higher body mass index can face a double bind of challenges to being more physically active. And so in order to identify and measure the barriers to physical activity among women, these researchers used 5 BMI classifications, okay? And they put them into different categories. And then, in other words, the degree of how heavy these women were. Then they asked them a series of questions about barriers to physical activity. And they used two different approaches. The one approach is they gave them surveys. Okay? That's very common in the world of health and nutrition. As well as, these are pre-worded questions. They're called, not closed-end, but they're pre-worded. Then you have they gave them open-ended, then they had an open-ended approach where the respondents could write down their responses in their own words. Now, in my career, I have composed, I can't tell you how many surveys, and analyzed survey data till it's coming out of my ears. So I'm quite familiar with this approach. So you can have a questionnaire that has closed-end items where you ask them a question, it's pre-worded, they pick, it could be multiple choice, it could be yes or no, boom. Then you can have open-ended questions where they write out their response. The researchers coded the responses to the open-ended approach questions into 6 categories. In a word, what they did was they thematized these narratives. And they came up with these themes: physical, psychological, social, resources, time, and activity. What they found was when they looked at all the open-ended responses, those themes seemed to emerge. The traditional survey approach revealed that women perceived a range of barriers to being physically active that varied by weight class, with their perception of a lack of self-confidence as a barrier regardless of the weight class. So on all the closed-end questions, they saw a lack of self-discipline as a barrier to losing weight. When they gave them the open-ended approach, it revealed a different set of barriers that varied by weight class. And the respondents, for example, described barriers of physical challenges such as injury that increased as weight increased. The researcher in the study said, "I was surprised to hear about how often women wrote about physical impediment as being a barrier to physical activity," close quote. That didn't come out in the closed-end questions. When I come back, I'll tell you a little bit more, and then I'll tell you the secret as to what does work or what would work with getting these women to be more physically active, what does work with getting people to lose weight, what does work in getting people to quit smoking, and so on. The theme is the why of how.
When your alarm goes off, do you jump out of bed with excitement, or does it take multiple alarms, a few snooze buttons, or a morning caffeine fix to get you going? These habits and daily stress cause a vicious cycle in which sleep becomes increasingly elusive. In fact, 54% of Americans report struggles to fall or stay asleep. For a better night's rest, look no further than Solace, an all-natural dietary supplement that supports healthy sleep and relaxation, so you get the rest you need to wake up clear-eyed, alert, and ready for the day. Solace has given thousands a better night's rest and the power to take back their mornings while enjoying the day ahead of them. Solace is formulated with non-addictive, scientifically proven, all-natural ingredients that support sleep and relaxation, such as melatonin, tryptophan, and 5-HTP. For more information or to order Solace, visit takesolace.com. Solace, for healthy sleep naturally.
Looking for the perfect complement to your beauty regimen? Try Form Essentials Zinnia. The finest of its kind, Zinnia offers twice as much biotin as other formulas, which has proven to unlock the vibrancy in even the dullest of hair, skin, and nails. Zinnia breaks through and rejuvenates cells internally, helping you achieve the allure of effortless beauty. Reviving your hair, skin, and nails has never been easier. This essential blend of biotin, alpha-lipoic, and hyaluronic acid, collagen, and vitamin C creates lasting enhancements to your natural good looks. Don't go on wondering, you're worth the results. This combination of ingredients can only be found in Zinnia. Pamper yourself with a proven bit of affordable luxury and start looking your best. Ask for Zinnia by name at your nearest vitamin retailer to begin your journey to restored nails, head-turning hair, and radiant skin today. For more information, visit formessentials.com. Let's Talk Nutrition is brought to you by Now Foods. Our products work. American Biotech Labs, your daily immune system support. Renew Life, the digestive care company. Country Life, a leader and authority in natural health and nutrition. Enzymedica, the enzyme experts. North American Urban Spice, the only oregano oil you can take on a daily basis. Let's Talk Nutrition on the web at letstalknutrition.com. We're back from the break, so let's rejoin Dr. Michael Garko.
Welcome back to Let's Talk Nutrition. I was talking with my producer about the difference in research, asking people questions in a survey and then giving them an open-ended. Here's the difference. And this goes to this study, then it gets to the point that I really want to make. In this study, they had a group of women, and they categorized them according to their body mass index. Some women were heavier than others. Then they gave them survey questions. In a survey question that is what we call pre-worded or fixed, that you can ask them a yes or no question, or to give you how many times did you overeat this week? They can write the number in, or you could ask them a question, why do you overeat? Check off the ones listed that apply to you. You could give them 10 choices or 5, or you could even ask them to rank why they overate or why they overeat. Then you could turn around and ask them an open-ended kind of question where they have to tell you and give you a narrative, and ask them, how often and why do you overeat? And have them write out their response. What this study showed was when they took that approach, they got 2 very different insights into why women, what the barriers to physical activity were in this study. For example, they could have asked them, check the reasons below as to why you don't engage in regular physical activity. The items are there. All they got to do is check off the ones that apply to them. Then they could have asked them, why do you find it difficult to sustain a regular physical activity regimen, or some such question, and have them write out a response? And that's sort of what they did in the study. They used both techniques. When they gave the respondent the chance to write out the response, they found out a very different result as to the barriers to physical activity for these women. When they gave them the closed-end questions, they sort of concluded that it was a lack of self-confidence that was the main barrier. When they gave them the open-ended kinds of questions where they had to write out the response and give more of a narrative, they gave a very different account as to what the barrier might be. The traditional, and I'll be specific, the traditional survey approach revealed that women perceived a range of barriers that varied by weight class, with the perception of a lack of self-discipline as the barrier, regardless of the weight class. In contrast, the open-ended technique revealed a different set of barriers that varied by weight class. Same woman, same respondent, reaching 2 different conclusions about what she thought were the barriers to not being physically active. So here's where we're going now. Dr. Mejia said, in those cases, she said, I was surprised to hear about how often women wrote about physical impediment as being a barrier to physical activity. In those cases, women don't need to hear more messages about their need to be more active. In other words, why should they do it? Instead, they need help with working through how to be more active in spite of having the impairment. And this goes to the point that I've been trying to make numerous times on this show. Yes, people need to know why they need to be more physically active. They need to know why they need to control their blood pressure. They need to know why it's best to lose weight and not be heavy. Fine. Once you're done with that, you're not done. You're only beginning. Now you got to tell them how. If there's one thing, I thought I knew a thing or two about persuasion when I started the show 11 years ago, because that's my field of expertise, social influence and persuasion. That's my background, my PhD work. Well, I learned something over these past 11 years. When I first started doing this show, I focused on why more often than I have since. And then I realized that that's not working. What I then discovered, when I started to focus on how to do things, I got better responses from the listener. They would write to me, they would call me, they would talk to me. It's the how. That's what's persuasive. Somebody who's 50, 75 pounds overweight, you think you need to sit there and tell them why they need to lose weight? Hell, they already know why. And by the way, if that's all you did, Martha, if you don't lose the weight, you're going to have heart disease. Your joints are going to deteriorate. You're going to suffer from metabolic syndrome and go down. By the time you're done, Martha will be so depressed she won't want to. She will quit. But if you start off with, we can do this, and I can show you how we're going to do this, and we're going to take this one step at a time, Martha, and we're going to figure this out, and I'm going to show you how. You've changed the whole tone and tenor of how she feels about this, and her whatever doubts she may have may be a little bit more moderated, and her ability to do this. It's a totally different approach. 877-897-8255. Maybe I'm making a lot out of a little. I don't know. But it seems to me that this is at the heart of the matter of getting people to change. It is darn hard to get people to change their behavior. Never mind their attitudes, values, and beliefs. That's why you're wasting your time to get in an argument with somebody about politics. You think you're going to change somebody's mind or attitudes or beliefs about X, Y, or Z politically? You're wasting your time. Changing people's attitudes it's almost like it takes divine intervention. Changing behavior is hard enough. Changing attitudes, values, and beliefs is like, oh my God. Yes, exactly that. 877-8. You like that, Josh? 877-897-8255. This show is about persuasion. That's why I'm emphasizing this. This show's not about informing people. Yes, information gets dispensed along the way. But I'm here every day, day in and day out. This show airs every single day, 5 days a week, that is. It has done so for 11 years, holidays, whatever. And the agenda is to persuade people to do better. And what's the main approach? How to do it. Yes, why is talked about. Yes, information is dispensed. But that's the agenda here, to persuade. That creates a different show. It has a different approach. It has different outcomes. And your relationship with the listener is different as well. Come back, we'll talk to Daniel in Tampa. We'll see if we can find our guest floating around somewhere in the ether. We'll see.
Exclusively from Natural Factors.
I'm Dr. Michael Murray. I'm very excited to have the opportunity to talk with you about PGX, a truly revolutionary natural product that works perfectly to help get at the core issues that make weight loss so difficult. PGX is a clinically proven way to help people to achieve their ideal body weight that is safe and natural. PGX leads to a dramatic reduction in the glycemic index of any food or meal. It also ultimately causes the release of compounds that achieve two important goals in weight loss. One, telling your brain that you're satisfied so you eat less, and two, improving the action of the hormone insulin. If you've ever tried to lose weight and failed, it's not your fault. You just need the tremendous support that PGX can provide. For more information on making your weight loss dream a near effortless reality, please go to pgx.com.
At Country Life Vitamins, we've been helping people live happy, healthy lives since 1971, and we believe integrity should always be our number one ingredient. We are committed to this belief because you deserve high-quality nutrition, specifically crafted with the highest standards to support your health. Country Life's manufacturing facility is an NSF GMP-registered facility, as well as USDA certified organic, so you can feel good about the products you're taking. Country Life Vitamins is also the first supplement company in the United States to have a complete line of products certified gluten-free. That's over 500 products. Country Life Vitamins' pledge of integrity is based on 5 standards: authenticity, cleanliness, freshness, consistency, and accuracy. Ask for Country Life's top-selling products, such as Coenzyme B Advanced for increased energy or Flex Able for joint health. Country Life Vitamins' commitment to ensure all of our products are pure, wholesome, gluten-free supplements full of natural goodness provides peace of mind with the knowledge you are using a brand you can trust.
Feeling tired after your meal? Occasional gas, bloating, or indigestion at inopportune times? You may have an enzyme deficiency. Did you know that many common digestive discomforts can be caused by poor digestion? When food isn't completely digested, it begins to ferment in the digestive tract, which may cause uncomfortable symptoms. Digest Gold, America's #1 selling enzyme product, offers unparalleled support for your digestive needs. It contains exclusive blends of enzymes optimized to be 3 times stronger and work more than 6 times faster than other leading digestive supplements. With just 1 capsule per meal, Digest Gold offers support to break down carbohydrates, fats, fiber, and protein. Enzymedica products are all natural, vegetarian, contain absolutely no fillers, and are vegan and kosher when possible. You'll find Digest Gold and other Enzymedica products at fine health food stores near you. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Are you waking up each day to the life you have to live or to the life you want to live? Better health shouldn't be left to chance. Smart choices to living longer and stronger include making Kyolic aged garlic extract a part of your daily routine. For years, medical researchers have recommended adding Kyolic to the diet as a powerful tool to enhancing overall heart and immune health. Recent clinical studies at UCLA Medical Center using Kyolic suggest that garlic may slow plaque formation in the arteries and support healthy cholesterol and homocysteine levels. Previous research also shows Kyolic may enhance your immune system defenses. Kyolic is organic, odorless, and the only antioxidant garlic supplement available worldwide. Maintaining a healthier you could extend your life. Your wellness begins with Kyolic aged garlic extract, available everywhere fine nutritional supplements are sold. Visit kyolic.com, that's KYOLIC.com, or call 1-800-421-2998 for a free sample today.
The ever-increasing stress and toxicity we are exposed to from our environment, diets, and lifestyles make internal cleansing a necessary part of a good health regimen. Founded in 1980, Yerba Prima was the first company to launch a whole-body internal cleansing kit. Since that time, they have continued to develop and manufacture a complete range of all-natural, high-quality fiber and internal cleansing products. By using all-natural psyllium fiber and no harmful stimulant laxatives, all Yerba Prima fiber and internal cleansing products can be used over a long period of time to ensure optimal health and regularity. With nearly 30 years dedicated to all-natural cleansing products, it's easy to see why Yerba Prima is a leader in the fiber and cleansing products category. Learn more at yerbaprima.com, YERBAPRIMA.com, or visit your local health retailer. Yerba Prima, pioneer in internal cleansing products.
Let's Talk Nutrition is brought to you by Nubian Heritage, Global Healing, Modern Wellness, Nordic Naturals, pure and great tasting omega oils, Jarrow Formulas, superior nutrition and formulation, Natural Factors, where great health begins, Kyolic, aging makes the finest garlic truly odorless, BSN, finish first, A. Vogel, Europe's leading brand of herbal medicine. Let's Talk Nutrition on the web at letstalknutrition.com. We're back from the break, so let's rejoin Dr. Michael Garko.
Welcome back. Welcome to Let's Talk Nutrition, wherever and however you may be listening or watching the show, and whatever you may be doing. I need a haircut. Jeez. Look like getting ready to do a passion play. Got to get my hair cut here. If you're watching the show at Let's Talk Nutrition, man, I'm sorry about that.
Sometimes the stream doesn't help you out much, does it?
No, it doesn't. You want to be on TV? Yeah, go ahead. Be careful what you wish for. Let's go to Tampa, Florida. Daniel, welcome to the show. It's great to have you on.
Hi, Doc. It's good to talk to you again.
Yes.
And the subject that you're discussing today is really, just getting me excited and really fired up, because it's one that I'm dedicating my whole life to right now. And I'm discovering some things, Doc, that really are not common knowledge and have incredible application for people to find a pathway to physical fitness, for sustainable physical fitness for a lifetime.
Sure. I should tell people that you're, if I recall, a physical therapist, that you
yes, sir.
And you work particularly with the elderly, right?
Yes. By way of clarification, I'm a physical therapist assistant, so I work under the supervision of a physical therapist, but I visit, I do all the treatments. Physical therapist assistants do all the treatments. But my entire career, which has spanned the last 15 years, and by the way, I'm an aging guy myself. I'm 66 years old.
Mm-hmm.
But my entire career has been exclusively working with senior citizens in the community. In other words, I do house calls.
Right.
And I've done over 12,000 visits with senior citizens around Tampa Bay. And what I've learned, and again, applying that to myself as an aging guy, has allowed me to create a very practical pathway towards physical fitness. And the issues that you're bringing up about particularly females and the barriers to achieving physical fitness because of weight issues and self-esteem issues, are very real. But we all have different barriers to achieving a regular, disciplined physical fitness program. Right now, I'm able to achieve an extremely high level of physical fitness. And by that I mean, people mistake me for 10, 15, even 20 years younger than I am. And I do it all in just 10 minutes a day at home using what I call a mobility-based approach to physical fitness.
What does that mean in a word?
Well, mobility is actually the most rich and revealing concept we can begin to understand in order to find a pathway to physical fitness. First of all, mobility is the purest functional and practical expression of our physical fitness. Why do we want to be physically fit? We want to be physically fit so we can be active, engaged in life, and be independent.
Right, and be mobile, be able to move. Right.
Yes, and mobility is actually a very rich concept when we begin to explore it. Mobility, the spectrum of mobility, starting with early childhood gross motor development skills in the crib and on up, is a spectrum of sequential progressive mobility skills, one that builds on the other.
So what I'm getting from what you're saying is then that you must have a series of exercises that you do and practice, and also then help your clients engage in and perform, that will inspire the mobility, and that these certain exercises are working muscle groups in the body or whatever in certain kinds of ways. Am I sort of getting that right?
Yes. And
okay.
In order for a physical fitness program to be effective, it has to be practical, it has to be convenient. So when I go into someone's home, I have to look around and see, what do I have available? I want these folks to be doing things when I'm gone, so I don't want to drag in a lot of things with me. But what another surprising, very revealing and surprising thing that I discovered was that the patients that I'm seeing, 90% of the diagnosis does not involve an acute illness or an accident or a disease or an injury of some kind. It involves simply a progressive weakening over a long period of time.
They're atrophying. People don't realize it. There's osteopenia, which is, of course, a weakening of the bones. Then there's sarcopenia, which is an atrophying of the muscle tissue. And that happens as people age. The thinking,
It does.
I'll ask Dr. Ingram when he comes on here in a minute about this business of sarcopenia. You have to keep your muscle tissue from atrophying and deteriorating. Of course, diet, protein, whatever, but exercise as well. I don't have much more time, but I'm just curious, how many exercises are involved in your little routine that you practice with yourself? How many different kinds of exercise?
Doc, there's 20. I do it the exact same routine every day, and it represents the foundational sequence of mobility exercises. I use a little tool that I created, but each exercise, I do 20 of them, the same ones every day, 30 seconds for each one, and at 66, I'm still able to run, jump, climb stairs.
I know, and you do this, this with your patients too.
I modify it in their home.
I suspect you probably use whatever they have at home, whether it's a table, a chair, whatever they have to get them to do. Just real quickly, just one more thing from you, if I could.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
How much success have you had with these elderly people who, when you first got to them, were non-ambulant? They couldn't get up and move around. How much success have you had with them?
I have some success stories and that are amazing. But the vast majority of it, for physical therapy to be effective ongoing, the type that patient that I'm seeing that has gotten into this position because of a long-term decline, changing their behavior is
hard.
The key. And every now and then I run, as you mentioned, earlier, and every now and then I do run into people who just grab hold of it and they start doing it every day, and I give them a little more and they do it, and they
So
progress.
in other words, Daniel, what you're doing is you're not only telling them why, but you're showing them how.
Absolutely.
I think that's the thrust of and you have a particular technique and approach with these mobility exercises, and you're showing them how to do them and how they can achieve mobility, remain ambulant, and move and get around and be independent. So the focus is on how and not why. And that's what that makes sense, because that's what a physical therapist needs to do. You have to show the client or the patient how to get things done. Daniel, thank you so much for your call. I appreciate your passion. Thank you for your work. I'm sure your clients and the patients that you see are much better in their health because of you. We'll come back. We'll talk to Dr. Cass Ingram. I have a few questions for him.
We're told there was flooding that was
statements made during this broadcast regarding products or the claims made about specific products have not been evaluated by the U.S. Food and Drug Administration. Products and treatments discussed are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent disease. Make your physician aware of all nutritional supplements used and immediately notify your physician if you have any health concern or undiagnosed sign or symptom. Let's Talk Nutrition is a health talk show that features scientists, authors, nutrition specialists, personal trainers, holistic healers, and experts in traditional, natural, and integrative medicine. Listen for a chance to win daily prizes and follow Let's Talk Nutrition on Facebook and Instagram at Let's Talk Nutrition or on Twitter at LTN Radio. It's time for some inspiration. Tune in to get fit and healthy. It's time to talk about nutrition. Nutrition for your body, your mind, your spirit. It's time to talk about proper exercise, stress relief, eating well, and supplementation to help. Get ready to take charge of your health because your health is your wealth and the wealth of those who care about and love you. It's time for Let's Talk Nutrition with Dr. Michael Garko. Welcome to the show.
Welcome to Let's Talk Nutrition. Great to be with you. Thanks for stopping by today. My guest in this portion of the show is Dr. Cass Ingram. He shows up around here from time to time. We always have fun with Dr. Ingram. And I usually implicate him in something that he doesn't want to talk about. And he's always accommodating. Dr. Ingram has a considerable amount of clinical experience. So that's why I always try to tap into that and get his take on how to do things, how to get things done, which I emphasized in the first portion of the show. Don't need to tell people why they need to do something usually, why they need to exercise, why they need to lose weight, why they need to this or that. Show them how. That is far more persuasive. You'll get more done. They'll be happier and you'll feel better. And they'll feel much better than you. They'll feel far better than you will if you're their doctor, they're some kind of provider for them. It's how. Dr. Ingram knows a lot about, he knows about the why for sure, but he knows a lot about the how. And he has something he wants to talk about specifically. But I came across this article this morning. I was looking, and the headline of the article caught my attention. It said, are my feet killing me? You know that expression, say, God, my feet are killing me. And this article was interesting. And it pointed out a number of conditions relative to the feet that can become problematic for people. Everything from foot cramping and spasms to gout, which is in a large big toe, cold feet, warm feet, swollen feet, spoon-shaped toenails. That's not good. It's a nutritional deficiency. Colored toenails, aching toe joints, having pins and needles feeling in your feet. Foot drop is another issue relative to the feet, and having persistent sores on your feet. This was explored in the article. It was written to give her attribution. Yvette Brazier, or Brazier, if it's in French, I guess, but Yvette Brazier. And I thought, boy, this is, I wonder what Dr. Ingram's experience has been because in his clinical work over these many years. And what I like about Dr. Ingram is he has a multicultural approach to things. He's quite aware of how medicine is practiced in other countries and other cultures. Whether it be the Middle East and Europe, wherever. He's dialed into all of that. And that's what makes conversation with him always so interesting. Dr. Ingram is, North American, he's affiliated with North American Herb and Spice, and he's written many, many books, probably writing one right now as we speak. I could go on and on about his bio and his curriculum vitae and all that, but you get the point. Dr. Ingram, welcome to the show. It's great to have you on.
Yeah, it's no coincidence that I'm doing this seminar on osteopathic manipulative medicine on Saturday. You're talking about bones and joints and muscles and feet and ambulation, and it's a big deal, huh? The chronic pain.
Yeah. What about the feet, Doctor? What about the feet, Dr. Ingram? I know that there are many. In Chinese medicine and other medical paradigms, where doctors they examine the eyes closely, they examine the tongue closely, they examine the feet. What do the feet tell us about a person's health from your clinical experience?
It's about the pelvis and the low back and the thoracic spine. The ilia. The feet are a reflection of what's going on structurally in the axial skeleton. Now, they can tell us a few other things, but that's the big thing. If there's pain, if there's displacement, if there's the fallen arches, it's related to the weight-bearing system. But if there can be deficiencies, you can have calluses, which are a vitamin A deficiency. Cracks in the bottom of the feet, which are vitamin A and can be fungal. Those can be related to deficiencies of essential fatty acids. But we get a lot more information about nutritional deficiency from the hands and the nails there.
Well, but about the nails on the feet, though, too, you can get some information if the nails on the feet are discolored, they're yellow and that same.
Yeah, I mean, if they're yellow, it can indicate candida. It can indicate kidney disorders, but I mean, there are obvious fungal issues. How about splinter hemorrhages? If you see a little teeny what looks like a splinter under the toenails, more commonly under the fingernails, that's a sign of bacterial endocarditis or trichinosis. So you can get some information. But what I like to do osteopathically is I like to palpate the feet to see if there's slippage of the bones, putting pressure on the ligaments, causing chronic pain. By the way, plantar fasciitis, it can be a B-complex deficiency. Heel, burning of the heel is pantothenic acid deficiency. So, I mean, if you were thorough, you could evaluate the patient and you could figure out everything that you need to know to get them on the road to a dramatic improvement in their health. And I agree with your client before. He was talking about this 10-minute in the home. God bless him. That's great. But I want to raise something. What are you going to do if the bones are infected, the spinal column? You don't know how common. See, this would be a big adjunct.
What do you mean by that, infected? What do you mean by
big? Ankylosing spondylitis. It's an infection of the spinal column, for example. And also spinal stenosis can be infection in the lumbar spine. And Pott's disease is tuberculosis of the spine. You don't know how absolutely common TB, chronic TB infection of the average individual. Even, look, TB, let's just go there. When they did autopsies on Americans, 1/3 of all Americans had active tubercular infection in their adrenal glands.
When was this? What time frame?
This is the 1960s. We're not talking about the sanitarium era. So Pott's disease, when you see somebody with a kind of a hump of bone in the thoracic spine,
yes,
it could be Dowager or something, but it could also be occult tuberculosis, slow-growing TB, infecting the bones.
Well, it's funny you mentioned TB, Dr. Ingram, because in this article, the writer made a reference to conditions linked to yellowing toenails, and she included among them tuberculosis and jaundice due to liver problems. That the yellow toenails could be a reflection of tuberculosis.
Yeah, actually, that's quite true. The yellowing of the toenails, chronic fungal, which TB is mycobacterium. It's a kind of a mutation between a bacteria and a fungus. But I just stress this. If people have a lot of inflammation in their musculoskeletal system, and they're doing the exercises, like you say, they want to do it, but they have all this inflammation, they have this disability, they keep reverting back to inflammation, then we've got to deal with the chronic infection, chronic fungal, chronic TB, chronic bacterial, the infestation that you cannot culture in the spinal column, in the long bones, in the bone marrow. And if you think about it, even leukemia is a kind of a bone infection because the bone marrow is diseased, right?
Mm-hmm.
You see? So I like to combine that in-home exercise or that. And see, this fellow you had before.
He was a listener, and he's he's a physical therapist assistant, and he's been doing this for many years. And he called in to share his experience, what inspired him to call Dr. Ingram was that from a clinical perspective, to tell people why they need to do something is fine, well, and good.
Yeah.
In my experience as a social scientist, that is the least persuasive argument that you can make. That does not move the needle in getting people to change their behavior and to do better with their health. What seems, in my experience, what seems to move the needle, if you will, and get people to accomplish better health what's really persuasive is when you show them how to do it, how to lose the weight, how to become more physically active, how to lower the blood pressure, and so on. It's the how. And this article that I was reporting on with women in physical activity, that's exactly what they found out. The how was really important. We come back, we'll talk more with Dr. Ingram.
Are you suffering from those awful allergies? Hay fever, sneezing, watery eyes. Here's some advice you won't want to miss.
I'm a doctor, and my patients used to dread allergy season. But then I discovered A-Vogel Allergy Relief, a unique combination of natural ingredients that usually addresses every one of my patients' symptoms. And while it's clear that the vast majority of my patients benefit significantly from A-Vogel Allergy Relief, what's even more amazing is that after using it, at least half of my patients' symptoms didn't return. As a doctor, that's the kind of outcome my patients and I can appreciate.
Get doctor-recommended A-Vogel Allergy Relief for your allergy symptoms. It's proven safe, it doesn't make you drowsy, it's fast-acting, and it may even help prevent your allergies from returning. Available at vitamin discount centers, Richards, Rollin' Oats, Vitamin Shop, Nutrition Smart, and other fine health food stores.
Still looking for your fountain of youth? It's Zinnia. Look no further than the beauty aisle of your favorite health and nutrition store. Zinnia is the newest product from Form Essentials, the brand that brought you solace. So you know it's filled with the highest quality ingredients. Many cosmetic products only treat topically, while Zinnia addresses aging and hair loss from within. Formulated to support the growth of radiant hair, skin, and nails, Zinnia is sure to help you turn back the hands of time and assist you in aging gracefully. Zinnia provides a spectrum of key vitamins and other evidence-based natural ingredients such as alpha-lipoic acid, biotin, and collagen and elastin peptides, all combined in one capsule for your convenience. By promoting beauty from the inside out, you're strengthening your cells and creating a lasting enhancement to your natural beauty. Zinnia fits into your daily routine and can be taken to boost your current cosmetic products. Available now at leading health and nutrition stores. Ask for Zinnia by name. Start taking Zinnia hair, skin, and nails today and get ready to look amazing.
Did you know that the most common form of calcium supplement today is calcium carbonate, also known as limestone? You don't eat rocks as part of your balanced diet, so why would you choose to supplement your bone health nutritional needs with limestone? Our bodies understand and seek whole food sources of nutrition. New Chapter is proud to deliver Bone Strength Take Care, a calcium complex that delivers key bone health nutrients in the form of whole food, not rocks. Bone Strength Take Care also delivers key bone-nourishing nutrients, including vitamins D3 and K2. Vitamin K2 is of critical importance as it ensures calcium is placed in the bone where it's needed and stays out of the arteries where it's not. Discover for yourself the whole food bone health alternative to rocks. Bone Strength Take Care, the best-selling natural bone health supplement in America. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Is your skin showing signs of aging? Do you want hair with more body and stronger nails? Add NeoCell's Super Collagen Plus C to your daily routine to help you regain your youthful, vibrant appearance. Collagen is the body's key structural protein, and it is critical to the elasticity and strength of connective tissues like skin, ligaments, and tendons. Recent clinical studies suggest that supplementing with collagen may reduce wrinkles and increase the firmness of your skin, improve the thickness of your hair, and strengthen your nails. Previously, medical studies also show a wide range of benefits from collagen supplements that may help with your joint pain, bone strength, and exercise recovery. NeoCell's Super Collagen Plus C provides 100% pure collagen that's hydrolyzed for maximum absorption. Results are felt and seen within weeks. Super Collagen Plus C promotes a healthy body by providing specialized nutritional support to help fight the effects of aging. NeoCell's Super Collagen Plus C products are available everywhere fine nutritional supplements are sold.
Let's Talk Nutrition is brought to you by Alga Life, Algae for Life, NeoCell, the true science of collagen, CV Sciences, from seed to shelf, Form Essentials, makers of the sleep aid Solace, now introducing Zinnia for healthy hair, skin, and nails. New Chapter, the benefit of nature's wisdom. Yerba Prima, pioneers in internal cleansing. Let's Talk Nutrition on the web at letstalknutrition.com. We're back from the break, so let's rejoin Dr. Michael Garko.
Welcome back to the show. Dr. Cass Ingram is my guest in this portion of the show. I know I steered Dr. Ingram a little off course from the topic that he wants to talk about today, but I couldn't resist the temptation because I'm always interested in his clinical experience. He has a vast amount of experience in clinical work, and I came across this article about what can the feet tell you about your health. It was written by a person called Yvette Brazier, and I want to give her attribution, and she was mentioning different conditions of the feet, like the colored toenails, and what that could mean. And it might be an indication, for example, she mentioned in the piece, like tuberculosis or jaundice due to liver problems, inflammation of the thyroid gland, and even sinusitis, she said. And then Dr. Ingram was expanding upon this and telling us even more about what certain conditions of the feet would indicate, certain signs and symptoms of the feet. Let's go to Lansdale, Pennsylvania, and talk to Marlene. Marlene, welcome to the show.
Good morning, doctor. How are you?
Fine, thank you.
Listen, I just wanted to make a comment about the feet. Lately, I'm being noticed that at the end of the day, my feet hurt, especially on my heels. And I just was wondering why I was so tired. So I tried to buy special shoes, that support my spine and that kind of things. But still, with the same problem.
Okay, I got a question for you. Do you eat anything that has a lot of corn in it? Do you not eat a lot of brown rice and liver and egg yolk and stuff? I mean, what's your diet?
I don't eat carbohydrates once in a while.
Okay.
Do you eat when you say carbohydrate, are you talking about
bread?
Okay.
Cookies, that kind of
Okay,
thing.
cookies, crackers, cakes, chips, and bread, and you don't eat that, but you eat other carbohydrate. Okay, go ahead.
So you're not getting, from what it sounds like, you're not getting enough B vitamins. Burning or pain in the heel is often a pantothenic acid deficiency syndrome. You know, if you take a whole food approach to this, you eat a lot of eggs over easy. You try to get some organic liver and get the natural B complex, purely B. See your health food store or look on Oregano.com and look up purely B. You take 2 heaping tablespoons twice a day. You also use the bone active rubbing oil and saturate the bottom of your feet and put your socks over that. That should cure this problem.
What's bone active rubbing oil? Yeah, the bone active rubbing oil. Is that a North American urban spice product?
Yeah, and it's a sage, rosemary, and oregano. But if it's mainly in the heels, think deficiency. You got to correct that.
So you're thinking that a pantothenic acid deficiency can cause heel discomfort,
heel pain, and heel burning.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
By the way, Marlene, you didn't happen to change your shoes or anything like that, did you?
I'm telling you, I just went to buy some.
No. Before, when you started to have the heel pain, did you change your shoes?
Nope.
Okay, so nothing changed. It just came on all of a sudden.
Yes, because I said maybe I'm getting old and I have to get.
Well, we're all getting old, but that doesn't mean.
Yeah, if you're getting older, your absorption of B complex goes down too.
So North American Urban Spice.
Well, I'm not that old, so.
I understand.
North American.
Getting older, we said.
Yeah. North American Urban Spice is the company, and Dr. Ingram mentioned 2 products. Could you repeat them, Dr. Ingram?
Bone active rubbing oil, purely B. It wouldn't hurt for her to take some fatty salmon oil, some Polar Power, get her vitamin count back up. And then Polar Power, like 6 capsules a day, purely B, 4 tablespoons a day. It should resolve this.
Okay. Now, I should mention that sometimes on the air things go by quickly, and people are driving and they can't take notes. Everything is on demand. If you go to letstalknutrition.com, the videos are there on the homepage, at least some of them. There's a link that will take you to YouTube for the rest. And then the audio portions of the show are found under a link called Show Schedule. It's a link right at the top on the left-hand side, first link, says show schedule. Scroll.
Yes, I wanted to mention that also I got to have my reflexology done.
But reflexology, yes.
Yes.
Well,
but I still have the same problem.
Yeah, then it's a deficiency.
You're having a deficiency.
You know, and get into the stuff on Oregano.com. Get them to send you a catalog. Call them up, 800-243-5242. Get involved with their whole food supplements. Purely B, Purely Pack, Polar Power. You should be corrected. It's a deficiency.
Will you please repeat the phone number?
1-800-243-5242.
And it's Oregano, REANGOL, Oregano.com.
There you go. Okay?
It's Oregano is a product from North American Spice derived from oil of oregano.
Oregano, yeah. Yeah.
Okay? Marlene, does that help?
Yes, thank you very, very much.
Sure.
I will try that.
You're very welcome.
In the heels.
Call me back when you try these things and let me know if they work, okay?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, Marlene, thank you.
This is the problem. Somebody has a deficiency syndrome. They go to the physician. I'm depressed. I'm really depressed. I'm very depressed. You get a SSRI, but it was a B complex deficit. It was a B12 deficit. The drugs just deepen the dilemma. Anxiety can readily be due to the B complex. You have also you have swelling of the body, which can be related to deficiencies of trace minerals like magnesium, heart palpitations, heart disease, magnesium deficiency.
Mm-hmm.
But we get drugs for that. Nobody's assessing the patient for that the symptomology could be due to nutritional deficit. Somebody has blurry vision. They have problems with their eyes. They can't see very well at night. They can't adapt from dark to light, light to dark. They're deficient in vitamin A, but it's not recognized any longer.
Mm-hmm. We're going to come back with Dr. Ingram. You can see he has a lot of experience. He can tell you from sort of a naturopathic, if you will, natural perspective, nutritional perspective, nutraceutical perspective, different approaches. It's always good.
Looking for the perfect complement to your beauty regimen? Try Form Essentials Zinnia. The finest of its kind, Zinnia offers twice as much biotin as other formulas, which has proven to unlock the vibrancy in even the dullest of hair, skin, and nails. Zinnia breaks through and rejuvenates cells internally, helping you achieve the allure of effortless beauty. Reviving your hair, skin, and nails has never been easier. This essential blend of biotin, alpha-lipoic, and hyaluronic acid, collagen, and vitamin C creates lasting enhancements to your natural good looks. Don't go on wondering. You're worth the results. This combination of ingredients can only be found in Zinnia. Pamper yourself with a proven bit of affordable luxury and start looking your best. Ask for Zinnia by name at your nearest vitamin retailer to begin your journey to restored nails, head-turning hair, and radiant skin today. For more information, visit formessentials.com.
When your alarm goes off, do you jump out of bed with excitement? Or does it take multiple alarms, a few snooze buttons, or a morning caffeine fix to get you going? These habits and daily stress cause a vicious cycle in which sleep becomes increasingly elusive. In fact, 54% of Americans report struggles to fall or stay asleep. For a better night's rest, look no further than Solace, an all-natural dietary supplement that supports healthy sleep and relaxation, so you get the rest you need to wake up clear-eyed, alert, and ready for the day. Solace has given thousands a better night's rest and the power to take back their mornings while enjoying the day ahead of them. Solace is formulated with non-addictive, scientifically proven, all-natural ingredients that support sleep and relaxation, such as melatonin, tryptophan, and 5-HTP. For more information or to order Solace, visit takesolace.com. Solace, for healthy sleep naturally.
is brought to you by Now Foods. Our products work. American Biotech Labs, your daily immune system support. Renew Life, the digestive care company. Country Life, a leader and authority in natural health and nutrition. Enzymedica, the enzyme experts. North American Herb & Spice, the only oregano oil you can take on a daily basis. Let's Talk Nutrition on the web at letstalknutrition.com. We're back from the break, so let's rejoin Dr. Michael Garko.
And we're back. Dr. Cass Ingram is my guest. Visit their website, oregano.com. North American Herb & Spice. Pretty good company. Oil of oregano, years ago, when I started the show, Dr. Ingram was on. He used to talk a lot about oil of oregano. You haven't recently when you've been on. Welcome back, Dr. Ingram. When you've been on, you haven't talked a lot. You haven't talked much about oil of oregano.
Well, we can talk now. The P73 is fantastic material, great for daily use, but it is a miraculous type thing because it's a germicide. I think people need to keep that in mind. Your listeners need to really focus on this one. A natural germicide, a natural antiseptic that destroys viruses, bacteria, fungi, the different protozoans like amoebas, cryptosporidium, giardia. It wipes them right out right now. And it's a highly anti-candidal, highly anti-mold. Can you imagine all the conditions it's invaluable for? You think about it. What about all these people that have chronic sinusitis and chronic... Now, this is a bit pet peeve. How can you fix anything like a car or a truck or a dishwasher, your washing machine, unless you make a diagnosis? You're just going to throw every wrench you've got at it? Everybody figures out or attempts to figure out exactly what's wrong, and then you fix it, right?
Usually that common sense would sort of instruct that, yes.
Yeah. So, but what about the human body? What good is it to go around and round to all the physicians in the world if an exact diagnosis isn't made? And so you have it. You have people with chronic bronchitis, chronic sinusitis getting antibiotics and surgery. What a hoax that is. The problem is due strictly to fungal infection, proven in the medical literature, proven by cultures, proven by bronchoscopy, proven by saline gavage in the sinuses, proven fungal. You're going to give an antibiotic for a fungus?
No.
Are we crazy? But that's the dilemma of modern medicine.
So how that list that you mentioned, you mentioned amoeba, protozoa, and all these things. People are saying, I don't have any of those kinds of things. I don't need a. How did you describe it as? What kind of side? Germicide. They're saying I don't need a germicide. I'm perfectly healthy. Explain why that's.
It goes back to that making the diagnosis, the infection connection. So let's say you have COPD, you have chronic bronchitis, you have the sinusitis, you have sinus pressure, you have rhinitis, you have chronic allergies, chronic postnasal drip. Those are all infectious, chronic infections. So if you have a chronic infection, what are you going to do? You're going to take an antibiotic that only kills bacteria, or you're going to take a natural antiseptic. Which one makes most sense, huh? So the antiseptic, like this P73 material, for instance, I'm not making claims for any company. I'm just telling you as a physician. Freedom of speech. You put that under the tongue, you take it as gel caps, you bombard the miserable fungus, and you get rid of the problem.
That's oil of oregano, oregano P73. That's oil of oregano, and North American Herb & Spice sells that particular product.
Yeah, the same is true with H. pylori. Well, we know what the bacteria is, and in this case you have antibiotics. But H. pylori, however, in Barrett's esophagitis and esophagitis, they found up to 100 different bacteria, not 10, not 100, infecting the esophageal tube. So there you go back to, well, why don't I just take a natural antiseptic? My doctor will agree with me. I'm still taking my medical approach. Why not take something that'll, knock out those nasties that are causing the GERD? So, why would we give an acid-suppressing drug for a bacterial infection? I mean, you know what I'm saying?
H. pylori. There are more than a few people that suffer from H. pylori. Explain what H. pylori is, Dr. Ingram, please.
Helicobacter pylori is a bacteria that has a preference for infecting the inner lining of the stomach. It's resistant to hydrochloric acid. It neutralizes it. It's noxious. It suppresses stomach acid production, and it infects sometimes the lower esophagus, but primarily the stomach itself.
How do people get it?
Maybe contaminated water, contaminated food. Maybe they pass it. That's never been completely understood. But obviously, if your stomach is weak and you're vulnerable and you have especially low stomach acid, right? Hypochlorhydria, they're the ones that are more vulnerable.
I see.
To the infestation. Wrong diet, too much carbohydrate. You know what I'm saying? So then it causes a 600% increase in stomach cancer. You don't want that in there.
Woo.
It's so if you treat it medically, or you could treat it in a natural way. You could use wild oregano. We did a small trial with Hirschenbeam down in New Mexico on 4 clients with proven H. pylori and a high breath urea. You know, it makes the urea there. So you can measure the urea in the breath if there's H. pylori in the stomach. So then we just gave, in this small trial, they gave Oregaresp, 2 capsules twice a day, and the Oreganol, I think about 3 capsules twice a day. And in 2 weeks, the breath urea was 0, which means the bacteria was destroyed.
What happens? I've known people to tell me that they have H. pylori, they were put on an antibiotic, it went away, and then it reappears at a later date.
Well, that's the point.
Why does that happen?
But it mutates. But that's what the benefit of an antiseptic. And like Oreganol P73, Oregaresp, for instance, they're germicides. Nobody can deny that. So, but the mechanism of action, they destroy the lining of the bacteria. They destroy its coat. They eat its coat. They're escharotic agents. It can't mutate. It's done. It's toast. Finished. And no one would think in a million years that if you have GERD and esophagitis and sensitive esophagus and you have heartburn that you would take oil of oregano because it's so hot. But it's like homeopathy, like with like. You got hot, you take hot. Yeah, so yes, the cure, well, not legal. The natural therapy is to take something strong. You know, it's cayenne pepper. People who use a lot of cayenne don't have as much H. pylori.
You have a book called The Cure is in the Cupboard, right?
I do have that. Yeah. First Amendment, freedom of speech.
You do have a book called, you talk about that in the book, if I recall.
I do talk about H. pylori. I talk about this whole thing about the infection connection to a wide range of diseases, gut disorders. You know, here, a number of physicians are using wild oregano, oil, juice, Oregaresp for ulcerative colitis. Who would think? Ulcerative colitis, the bleeding, the ulcerations, and you're giving something that aggressive?
We'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Dr. Michael Murray with a minute of important health news. One of my all-time favorite natural products is a special extract of licorice known as DGL. DGL is short for deglycyrrhizated licorice, but I tell my patients that it stands for darn good licorice. DGL is made by removing the compound in licorice that can raise blood pressure in some people. Double-blind clinical studies have shown DGL is quite useful in healing stomach and intestinal ulcers. In fact, in head-to-head studies, it has actually outperformed popular anti-ulcer drugs. But rather than inhibit the release of stomach acid, DGL stimulates the normal defense mechanisms that prevent ulcer formation and promote healing. Clinical studies have not only shown DGL to be extremely effective, but also that it is completely without side effects. Clearly, DGL is a better choice.
Everyone's raving about the newest botanical superstar hitting the store shelves nationwide. Hemp-derived cannabidiol, or CBD, has been receiving a lot of attention for its tremendous promise on human health. Plus, CBD Oil by CV Sciences is the trusted brand setting the standards in this newly emerging category of plant-based extracts, offering a variety of hemp-derived CBD oil products that you can count on. In order to make the highest quality CBD oil products available, it is important to manage every step of the supply chain process, from seed to shelf. That's why, from harvesting our EU-certified hemp seeds, to laboratory testing for quality and safety, to producing our exceptional line of products, we are committed to going the extra mile. It is our commitment to you. Join the CBD evolution. Ask your local natural health retailer about Plus CBD oil products by CV Sciences today. Follow us on Facebook and learn more at pluscbdoil.com.
Hi, I'm Kate. I try to eat a healthy diet, but the irony of eating healthy foods, like broccoli or beans, is that even though they're healthy for us, they can still cause occasional digestive upsets. That's why I take a Digest Smart high-potency enzyme with every meal. Digest Smart is from Renew Life, the digestive care experts. It's the first digestive enzyme certified by Izyme, the International Enzyme Testing Program. Each capsule provides a full spectrum of 25 powerful plant-based raw enzymes to break down each major food group, including carbs, fats, proteins, and fiber. Digest Smart enzymes also feature targeted delivery capsules to reach your intestines, where 90% of digestion occurs. Digest Smart promotes more complete breakdown of the foods you eat and optimizes nutrient availability. Plus, it helps ease digestive upsets and supports your overall digestive health. Now that's really smart. Digest Smart is from the makers of Ultimate Flora Probiotics, and both are available in health food stores everywhere.
Energy, energy, and more energy. Everyone needs it. But did you know you can get the energy you need quick through the powers of wild forest extracts? Wild chaga and birch bark were a secret source of energy and power for Russian athletes years ago, making them unbeatable. Now you too can experience real energy and power like you've never dreamed possible. Wild chaga is the world's top source of SOD, superoxide dismutase, that critical enzyme that blocks the aging process and keeps your cells healthy. Wild birch extract is the world's top source of betulin, a natural sterol needed by every cell of the body. And healthy cells mean a healthy you, and a more powerful one too. Chaga birch bark is also good for your heart, healthy cholesterol, and even helps build healthy arteries. No wonder it's known as the king of all herbs. So take your Chaga Charge tea with wild birch bark every day and Chaga Max capsules from North American Herb and Spice and get that maximum energy you need. Also available in liquid as Chago Power Drops. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. When you're passionate about your health, that passion leads to the knowledge that exercise and a healthy diet are not always enough. Sometimes you need the extra nutritional boost that only supplements can provide. If you are looking for the leading national brands of vitamins, supplements, health and beauty, weight loss, or sports nutrition products, look no further than Vitamin Discount Center. Voted best independent chain by Vitamin Retailer Magazine, Vitamin Discount Center has been a trusted and valuable nutrition resource to the Tampa Bay area for over 15 years. With daily savings up to 50%, Vitamin Discount Center offers the best prices on the highest quality nutritional supplements. Not only will you find unbeatable value, your visit includes access to a staff educated on the application of products to help equip you with the products and information you need to proactively improve your health. To locate the store nearest you, visit vitamindiscountcenter.com, as well as access to articles on popular health topics, promotions, events, and thousands of products to shop from right at home. Your search for an affordable solution to better health is finally over. Vitamin Discount Center. For life, for less.
Let's Talk Nutrition is brought to you by Nubian Heritage, Global Healing, Modern Wellness, Nordic Naturals, pure and great tasting omega oils, Jarrow Formulas, superior nutrition and formulation, Natural Factors, where great health begins, Kyolic, aging makes the finest garlic truly odorless, BSN, finish first, A. Vogel, Europe's leading brand of herbal medicine. Let's Talk Nutrition on the web at letstalknutrition.com. We're back from the break, so let's rejoin Dr. Michael Garko.
Here's the LTN health question of the day. Earlier in the show, I was talking about the best approach in trying to get people to change their behavior. especially when it comes to diet and lifestyle. This is ever the perpetual problem for physicians and clinicians and those healthcare providers who are trying to help patients and people, that could be clients, who are trying to do better with their health and some particular health condition, and it requires a change in behavior. One's hard-pressed not to think of any health condition that doesn't require some sort of change, either in diet or lifestyle, which are big variables, include a lot of other variables. And that's where the problem comes in. And giving somebody a prescription or a nutraceutical or pharmaceutical sometimes is not enough. They may have to do other things where they really have to modify some behavior. That's the challenge. Here's the question. According to my opinion now, what is the best approach in trying to get people to change their behavior? Tell them why they should do something, or tell them how they should do something? Which of those two is more persuasive? Telling somebody why they need to exercise more, lose weight, control their blood pressure, control their insulin levels, or telling them how to do those things? Which of those two approaches is more persuasive in getting people to change and make an alteration in their behavior? 877-897-8255, 877-897-TALK. So, Dr. Ingram, welcome back. If you get the right answer, by the way, you'll win a $25 gift card. And I'm assuming, Stephen, you know the answer to that, right? Okay. Dr. Ingram, so now, oil of oregano, you've been all over the world, and in other cultures, how do they have a different point of view, for example, about oil of oregano? I'm just using that as an example.
Yes, in Holland and France, they know it's the lead treatment for bronchitis, for pneumonia, for sudden infection in the chest, sore throat. And, of course, Jean Valnet, his book, The Practice of Aromatherapy, he said it was the most diverse antibiotic, the best antiseptic. No drug can compare to oil of oregano, were his words. So we're way behind in the use of these spice oils as medicines. The Cure in the Cupboard, and, since I started this in 96, created a revolution, as you know, of people considering and taking wild oregano for conditions that they always used antibiotics for, and not so successfully. So now a certain pocket of Americans are saying, oh, my children have earache, let's give them the P73, rub it on their feet, rub it on their shins, put a drop or two in the food 2 or 3 times a day for sore throat, mixing it with honey as well. We mentioned sinusitis, bronchitis, but also for pneumonia. You're doing your medical, but people are using it. And now I'm expanding that platform from what is known in Europe, which is chest and sort of acute cold, flu type things, to the fact that so many other diseases are infectious. We mentioned ulcerative colitis, irritable bowel, spastic colon, H. pylori, Barrett's esophagitis, esophagitis in general. These are infectious diseases. But I'm also successfully using wild oregano, both the oil, the juice, and I mentioned the crude herb, Oregamax. I'm also using that protocol for Lyme disease, for ankylosing spondylitis, for multiple sclerosis, for Lou Gehrig's disease, because there's nothing else to do anyway. We might as well give them some antisepsis and see if we can pull them around. And I've had success in all of those conditions with my protocol.
Let me ask you, and you don't have to answer this question if you don't want to, on a personal level, have you ever had a condition that required you, and you treated yourself with oil of oregano and had success?
But if I had a condition, I treated myself. So what's the question?
Did you ever have a medical condition where you treated yourself with oil of oregano?
Oh, of course not. Okay. back about 1993, nobody knew about oil of oregano in this country, okay? And I was sick with that IV needle, Nick. I was desperate, clinging to life by the fingertips, not knowing how to come back, not able to work, not able to do a radio show or write a book anymore. And the oil of oregano cured me.
What did you have? You missed what you said.
Well, I had cytomegalovirus, fulminant candidiasis, and maybe an AIDS-like syndrome, but there was no HIV diagnosis. I degenerated. I put my picture up on the internet. I looked like somebody out of a concentration camp or something. And so it was all I had at the time was kyolic garlic, which helped a bit. And then I moved into the Oregamax, which was not in capsules. That was just a bunch of powders I mixed together. It became a product. So say 50 capsules of Oregamax a day. Then we found the oil of wild oregano. I took 100, 200, 300 drops a day. And in 6 months, I went from dying to somewhat functional.
Unbelievable.
Another year and a half, and I was back to work.
Unbelievable. Let's go to North Wales. Anna, welcome to the show. I'm going to give you a hint. Here's the hint. And with all of my clients, when I first started, I used to focus on why and didn't have much success. So what do you think the answer is to that question? What's more persuasive? Why? Telling the patient why they need to do something or how they need to do something?
I thought it would be why.
No, it's how. I'm going to give you the.
She thinks it's a trick question, the poor thing.
No, it's not a trick question. It's how. And we're still going to give you the $25 gift card. But the point is, telling people how to do something is far more inspirational.
It's less invasive. It's kinder. It's people respond to how.
Exactly.
They're after the how. They're not after the why.
Thank you, Anna.
The why.
Dr. Ingram, you're always entertaining, informative, and helpful. We appreciate it. The audience appreciates it. North American Urban Spice. Go to oregano.com. Why? Because your health is your wealth.